Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zikri Hafiz bin Muhammad Nazri, and my teammate are Cyril Martin and also Caronisa binti Khairuddin. So our group choose Sagittarian for our assignment. Today I want to tell you about introduction of anatomical Sagittarian and medullolateral axis. In anatomy, the Sagittarian is an imaginary separator that divides the body or a body portion vertically. The sagittal plane is perpendicular to the median plane, which divide the body into two equal sections vertically. This terminology aids health care practitioners in pinpointing injuries during treatment and allow ergonomists to be more particular when creating work environment in terms of which portion of the body are at risk of harm due to a specific duty. Parasagittal plane is another name for a sagittal plane. When describing the human body, the sagittal plane is one of several hypotheses like geometric surface used to provide directional guidance. Is an anatomical term for direction. Vertical division are created by sagittal plane, resulting in a right and left side.
Hi, I'm Caronisa binti Khairuddin. I'm going to talk about extensions and flexions in sagittal plane. Flexions is a sagittal plane movement that reduces the angle at the moving joint. The opposite movement is extension, which raises the angle at the point. The shoulder, elbow, wrist, and knees are examples of synovial joints that can flex and extend, like high, ball, and sockets. And the shoulder flexions is the movement of elevating the arm above the head. The downward movement is called extension. The shoulder is in an extended position. Extending the knee is bending it in flexions. As the angles is lowered than strengthening. Dorsiflexions and plantar flexions are the flexions and extensions of the ankle joint. Plantar flexions is when you point your toes away from the floor, and dorsiflexions is when you point your toes towards the ceiling. Now I'm going to show at you how the flexion and extensions in sagittal planes are used in our body. First, elbow or forearms flexions. Angle between forearm and arm decrease as ulna moves towards humerus bone. Next is shoulder or arm flexions. Angle at the humerus of arms and scapular bones decrease as arms move anteriorly.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zikri Hafiz bin Muhammad Nazri. Today I want to tell you about what is a hyperextension. Hyperextension refers to a joint, muscle, ligament, or tendon that stretches beyond its normal range of motion, usually resulting in injury to the affected connective tissue. Such injury is usually accompanied by certain psychological symptoms that include inflammation, pain, and immobility, depending on the severity of the trauma. Hyperextension also will be performed by athletes in certain sports. hyperextension work by strengthening the muscle in the lower back. These hyperextension exercises can improve lower back flexibility while reducing injury risk. As an example, hyperextension are used by bodybuilders to prevent their lower back from damage when lifting high weight. Next, I want to show how to do hyperextension. Yeah, let's do that. I want to tell you about what is dorsiflexion. The backward bending and contracting of your hand or foot is known as dorsiflexion. This is the joint that connects your foot to your ankle and your hand to your wrist. You can dorsiflex your finger and toes as well, though the term is commonly used to apply to your wrist or ankle. When you draw your toes back toward your shins, this is called dorsiflexion. When you dorsiflex your foot, you contract your shin bones and flex your ankle joint. You can also dorsiflex your foot by standing with your heel firmly on the ground and elevating the ball of your foot off the ground. When you flex your wrist joint back toward your lower arm, this is called dorsiflexion of the hand or wrist. As you run, dorsiflexion positions your foot to absorb the shock of landing and tenses your muscle to propel you forward into the next step. This allows you to run faster and more efficiently by reducing ground contact time per stride. Hello, my name is Mohammed Grafis. Today I will show you how to do dorsiflexion. Yeah, let's go.
Hello guys, my name is Cyril Martin. So here I'm going to talk about what is palantar flexion and then horizontal extension and flexion. So palantar flexion is the movement of the foot at the downward motion away from the body. So the movement of if this the foot, we will see the movement of the foot will go down. So like this, it will be straight. So that's the palantar flexion. And then horizontal flexion is the movement where the ankles between two bones increase and occurs on the horizontal plane. So the movement of the two bones. So example, there's a one bone and then another bone. So the movement of the bones. So later I'm going to show you the movement. So check it out. Hello everybody, my name is Cyril Martin. So today I'm going to show you the plantar flexion. So what you need to do is just move your leg straight, then turn your feet to the straight, to the right. So like this. So this is the movement for the plantar flexion. So change. Can be done by put your foot to the ground. Hello everybody, my name is Cyril Martin. So today I'm going to show you the plantar flexion. So what you need to do is just move your leg straight, then turn your feet to the straight, to the right. So like this. So this is the movement for the plantar flexion. So change. can be done by put your foot to the ground. So now I'm going to show you horizontal flexion and horizontal extension. So horizontal flexion is like this. So you need to straight your arms, and then this is the horizontal flexion. So horizontal extension, it's like this. Straight the arms like this. So horizontal flexion, horizontal extension. So yeah. So guys, this is a side view. Horizontal flexion is your arms like this, and then the straight, totally straight. Horizontal flexion, and horizontal extension is like this. Flexion, extension. So like this. The conclusion is, keep in mind that the goal isn't as distracts the body as you try to understand and analyze how you move in each plane separately. So after all, the body exists simultaneously in all three planes. The goal of this work is to try to keep the body balanced in all three planes at all times in order to create a sense of wholeness. So if an exercise is primarily made up of flexion and extension joint motions, it is classified in the sagittal plane. So that's all from our group. Thank you.